Would you guys put a car on this and be underneath it and rip a transmission out? So you've been seeing these lifts on Facebook, mainly the Atlas lift from Racing Direct Parts or racingtoolsdirect.com. Yeah, so I purchased one. I've got their smaller version. I didn't get the longer one. I wish I would have, but you know, I have some concerns about this, and one of them is the Wobble. Yeah, so it's a model PP85 Atlas 4-post lift. Now, I wanted to get this because what sold me on it was the fact that it was movable. You can just put these, I got it in an up position right now, but you could put these dollies underneath here, lower this down, and it will pick the legs up, and then you can move this around. Because I've got this shop here, and this frame might be on that side of the garage. I might have to move this over on that side. Well, you know, I'm not really sold on it. Now, I contacted Racing Direct Tools, and they said that if you put weight on this lift, that it will tighten it up. Now, I measured at the feet what the measurement was to see what the lift was doing when I put up. So when this is in the up position, the bottom feet kick out an inch. And then when I lower it, they tuck in an inch. Because this thing, I mean, like, they say I could put a car on this. We'll bring it down and see what it does.
2 hours later.
All right, so right now it's midway with the safety latch engaged. So that means the bars are tucked in, the cable snaps, they ain't going anywhere. Plus it has these emergency ones too. So we'll see how it will. Yeah, so she's still a little wobbly. Let's lower it down a little bit more, get the brake off, put more tension on these cables, and see what it does. So now we're gonna go in between a stage height and, all right. So that's what the cable safety gauge is not, this is what the safety not engaged. So, would you guys put a car on this and be underneath it and rip a transmission out? Man, I wouldn't. I'm not liking this. Well, now I got some weight on this lift. Let's lift her up and see how wobbly she is before I anchor this thing down to the ground. Now for the test. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I think I'd be more comfortable with anchoring it. They obviously provide anchor bolts in the feet here. Back and forth, little wiggle wiggle, the side to side. Would you trust it with a car or a small truck? I don't think I would. Now this thing shipped to me without instructions. It blew out of the crate of some sort, I can only imagine. I'll talk about the install of this. So installing this was fairly simple, even without instructions. When they say it will take like 6 people, they mean it. It takes 6 people. I did it with me, or I did it with my 16-year-old son and myself, but I also had a tractor. The heaviest part of this is that dang hydraulic side with all the cables. That's the heaviest loading section of this whole assembly. And it took me, you know, we used this cherry picker, we used the front end bucket of my tractor. We kind of put everything together. The side posts all stood up, they all slide into the cross members here, stood everything up, and we just got it on that very edge and we slid it forward and just kind of put the cherry picker here until we got it to the position we needed to get it into. Putting it together was fairly simple. If you had like 6 friends, you could put this together all within like maybe an hour or 2 hours. It's really simple. So when this thing ships, it ships in the crate just as long as obviously as the lift. It is heavy.
Try being my size, Amy.
I think it's about 1900 pounds. You're gonna have to have it shipped to a dock, and then that dock it's gonna have to be able to put that on a trailer or your trailer. I had a 16-foot car hauler, and it just kind of hung out the outside edge. I strapped it all down, but I did get it here. Thank God I did have a tractor. I was able to get these heavy parts off with the bucket and some strapping. Like I said, if you had 6 guys, you know, you could get this installed and set on here. Like I said, we slid it on here and just kind of moved it on up. It is made in China, obviously. It just, this wobbling thing, I was really looking forward to putting these casters here on the lift and be able to move it outside and get it out of my shop, or if I wanted to, bring it over on this side and just kind of change things up. That's not saying you can't still do that. You just have to go with an anchor that is countersunk, so you have bolts that go in and your anchoring point is below the concrete line there. And then when you pull this up, you take the bolts out, you'll have a flush surface so you can move it all the way around. So let me heat up this shop. I'll get to anchoring, and we're gonna see how wobbly this is after I anchor it. Well, it's a week later, and well, let's say I lost the last portion of the video where I had the UTV on here, the anchoring, all that jazz. Gone. Lost it like a fart in the wind.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you.
I did anchor this, and I'll show you. Well, I got a lot of stuff on it now because I'm working on something pretty cool. I'll show you that in a second. But yes, I anchored this, and this thing is solid as shit, man. This thing is not going anywhere. I murdered this thing out with neon duct tape because I trip over shit like you wouldn't believe. Hit my head on a lot of stuff. So yeah, the lift, all in all, it was easy to put together. Would I use it as a roll around cart, not anchor it down? Hell no, I would not. Is shit gonna like fall down on top of you? Probably not. Are these damn blocks gonna wear out? Yeah, those blocks right there, yeah, they'd probably wear out. This shit, like, it twists and turns and shakes, rattles and rolls, and I would not put a car on it without anchoring this damn thing out to save my life. So check out these anchors. Yeah, just a 5/8 anchor. I think it's 3.5 inch. Yeah, it pretty solid. I mean, she ain't going nowhere. And I don't know what that was, but I swear to you, you anchor this thing down and you're good to go. Now, like I said, if you got those anchors that you just like, they're like a little puck, whatever. I don't even know how to explain it. They're countersunk anchors. They go in the ground, you hammer them in the ground, and then instead of a stud hanging out, you have a bolt. I didn't go with those. I don't really plan on moving this thing around a whole bunch, but if you were, I would go with those. Now, this thing is what I've been working on for the last week. So what we're doing is we're putting an air ride suspension on this, and well, kind of like full on frame restoration is what I've been working on. Building out a whole new suspension. Today, what I did was, well, I put on the rear bags, rear suspension, all that jazz. If you guys want to see more about that, well, you can kind of dig in my channel. I got Project Chuck is what it's under at Sunnyslope Garage. So it's not a separate channel, it's just a kind of an album you guys can go look through. You can see me get on this thing and where I'm at tearing that apart, but nonetheless. The only thing I don't like is this thing is extremely slow and going up, down, cold, hot. I don't think this thing would be any faster with it warm in here because I've had this shop at like 7 degrees. Anyways, today it was like 65 degrees out. I had the shop warmed up This thing is extremely slow. It's not like it's gonna go up and down really fast, but you know, it's a hobby lift, so I don't need it to go hauling ass. I'll finish this video by going over this frame again, so if you guys are interested in that crap, you know what you're looking at. Thanks for watching.